Federal government has criticized former Vice President Atiku Abubakar for using Nigeria's national coat of arms in his resignation letter from the People's Democratic Party. Atiku cited irreconcilable differences with the party, but Aviation Minister Festus Keyamo described his use of the coat of arms as a legal violation under the Flag and Coat of Arms Act and an act of impersonation. Keyamo also condemned the timing of Atiku's resignation, calling it insensitive amid the national mourning for former President Muhammadu Buhari. He accused Atiku of attempting to draw public attention to himself, suggesting his ambition for the presidency overshadowed the solemnity of Buhari's passing. Keyamo emphasized that using government symbols in personal political matters is both inappropriate and misleading. Quoting Section 6 of the relevant act, Keyamo warned that unauthorized use of the coat of arms could lead to legal consequences. He urged Atiku to respect the law and national decorum, stating that such actions could cause confusion if replicated by other former government officials. Kingsley, what do you make of this story?
Yeah, what I make of this story is very simple. Atiku Abubakar, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, with due respect to him, having served as a vice president of this revered country, should have known the law. Now, if somebody like Keyamo, who has not even served as president, though as a lawyer, is trying to refer him to that cap, that act has been there since 2004, I think so. Yes, 2004. And so, if Atiku, who served as a vice president, even within the period that that act was formulated, should have known that it is wrong, very unconstitutional, and even requires him to even face some consequences by using that coat of arms in his own personal letter-headed paper. That was very, very wrong. He is no longer the vice president of Nigeria, for Christ's sake. He has left office for over 18 years, or more, if not more than that. So why still using coat of arms on your personal letterhead? You don't need to do that. It was wrong. I don't know why he tries to construe a lot of crisis in this country almost all the time. Atiku's nature has been like that, trying to cause problem, making people speak ill about him from the time he was in office as a vice president till today. Atiku has been so controversial in the negative sense. As a vice president, your principal gave you an opportunity to chair a committee on privatization. You surreptitiously, just like Jacob did to his father-in-law Laban, surreptitiously changed almost everything, bought it to yourself. Jacob was asked to go to train the cows or the goats. He went to the bush, started painting, because his father-in-law said, anyone that has color, will be your own. He started painting almost all the goats in the bush to turn them to himself. That was exactly what Atiku did as a vice president. Chairman, you're just like when they say a dog eating the bone that is hung on his neck. Go and be the chairman of this privatization committee. You surreptitiously started buying almost all the government assets with your company, unknown to the president. And so when the president discovered all those things he was doing, almost at the tail end of their exit of office, so he couldn't do anything about it. That was why he was denied the presidential ticket. And so he left PDP immediately and joined Tinubu. Bola Ahmed Tinubu gave him a platform, his own party, ACN. Till today, he has been so controversial in so many issues. Look at even to the extent where his own home state, where he's supposed to be celebrated, they are rejoicing, fixing a Thanksgiving for his exit. So he shouldn't be this controversial. Why would he do that? He knows the law because he has served as a vice president. So causing
probably he's using the coat of arms because he was once the vice president of the country.
Once a vice president is no longer a sitting president. You are still a vice president. So the moment you leave Atlantic Television, Laurentia, so you still use ID card of Atlantic Television to walk around. See me, I'm working at Atlantic Television. Is it right? He was a former vice president, no longer a sitting vice president of the country.
So and the use of the coat of arms was impersonation.
It was. Even the law says so. Even the law says so in that cap F30. in that law. It was even when he was a vice president that that law was made. So why using it if you know it was wrong? Just like even today, former senators do the same thing. You are a former senator of the Federal Republic. You are no longer a sitting senator. Yes, you can be addressed as a senator. You still use the arms of a senate. Is it right? That is wrong. So it is not even only Atiku. So many Nigerians make the same mistake. Politicians, yes. Sorry for using the word Nigerians, because I know people like us who have not held political office who are still good and same persons who have not made such mistakes. But a lot of Nigerian politicians make this mistake, causing confusion. Nothing is done against him. Some other vice president would want to take the same step. Is it right? That is wrong. And so if you now question somebody like Sambo, of course, since he left office, I've been very, very silent. He's not a noise maker. That's one man I love so much. When he left office as a vice president till today, you can't see him in any media causing nuisance like some persons are causing. You will see that. So he's a very wrong president. And the timing too is wrong. The timing is wrong.
But Atiku's aide, you know, is saying that that letter was leaked.
Was what?
That the letter of resignation was leaked. It was not submitted by Atiku. That it was leaked by the aviation minister.
How could that aviation minister, does he live with him? Does the aviation minister live in the bedroom of Atiku? Is aviation minister
how did he lay hands on the letter?
Could you have laid hand on a personal letter? I think I would do when Nigerians talk as if we were all children. So the aviation minister has gone to, he now lives, maybe he has now become Atiku's wife, who sleeps with Atiku on the same bed and wakes up from the same bed. Who now knows when Atiku has even gone to toilet or urinate and all that, such that he knows where Atiku will hide his such kind of very important letter. He's writing to his ward for resignation. So how would this Keyamo have access to that kind of letter?
Keyamo is in APC, correct?
Yes.
So
who is even another party?
Who is another?
So and like I said, the timing was very, very wrong. You know, the president graciously declared 7 days for the mourning of our former president. Now, within just a day after the former was buried, he declared for another party. So the timing was very, very wrong. Are you telling Nigerians that you are not even sorrowful of the death of our former president, who has sacrificed so much for this great country called Nigeria, such that even the president had to send the vice president to United Kingdom to follow the corpse back, following protocols? In fact, I've never seen any government official that was given the kind of burial that this president gave to former president. Nobody had gotten that kind of full-blown burial from the presidency. Nobody, apart from Buhari. And that was made possible by a man who understands what leadership is. Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Nobody has done that to any former vice president or president.
You feel that this Atiku dropping his resignation at this time derailed the attention from Buhari to himself, and also to a large extent thwarted the honor that ordinarily would have gone to Buhari?
It completely did just exactly the honor that the president had given to the former president. This letter had just derailed it, thwarted every attention. Nigerians are now directed towards that letter rather than towards the mourning of our dear former president, who had actually given so much for this country. For the president to give 7 days full-blown burial for our former president was something that is unprecedented. And now a former vice president would want to release his letter of resignation from which party? A party you've never respected for so many years. A party you left to contest for vice president while as a sitting vice president. A party you left even when you returned. You have been leaving the party so that even your own home state said you are a liability. And now you say you are resigning. What are you even resigning? You don't even have a value in that party ab initio. And now you are telling you are resigning a day after a former president was buried. That was a disrespect to the death and family of Buhari. First, it was also a disrespect to Nigerians who were still mourning the former president. And so I think that Atiku Abubakar should tender an unreserved apology first to the family of our former president, to our president, and Nigerian people at large.
All right.